today's video, I will be showing you all how to cut layers in a synthetic closure. That was perfect timing. So I showed you all how to do it in the rest of the wig. Now I got to show you how to do it this lace closure. We've been waiting on it and just giving it a good sniff, a good test, because it's even over a week, probably 2 weeks ago, we applied perfumed shea butter mixed with a perfume oil, and it still smells like it. It's still pretty much manageable. Out, however, it is showing signs that it's almost worn out. I will be doing quite a bit of talking and adding context, but for the most part, I will be keeping an eye on the comments here just so I can walk you all through how to cut layers in the lace closure. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you already have your lace closure sectioned off. These are tips for lace closure that are larger than 4x4. So let's lock in. All right, if you're just joining, I am sharing with you all this time. This is our last section. This is a tutorial on how to cut layers in your lace closure. I purposely left this last and to do this last just to show you all how to do it. And as a reminder to myself. So you want to split this into not necessarily thirds, but maybe fourths, depending on the size. These tips are primarily for lace closures that are larger than 4x4. I definitely made this larger than 4x4. You remember when there was 4x4 closure and then it's just like, it's just too small of a space because it's just literally just this much. That's, and the largest I see is 7x7. I said, maybe 6x6 and 7x7 is a little too high. Let me put my face in the frame. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on. Oh, it's definitely not for cosplay, but you know what? This would be a perfect tutorial on these would be the perfect type of wigs to make for cosplay. But since cosplay, um, I've never been to a convention now. So I say this loosely when I say this. Um, it the tips I give is on how to keep your wig, how to take care of it for the long haul. Cosplay is usually, I feel like it's for, what's the best word? I'm trying to search for the best word. I don't edit mistakes out now because I want you to see in real time. I feel like cosplay because I see so many different colors and blends of hair, which is exciting to me. Um, there's so much change with the color and textures that you would have to probably be committed to one or two characters. But cosplay is so vast and so extensive. You see what I'm saying? That makes sense. You feel me? Let me get a finer tooth comb. I cannot find the one that I really want to use. Okay, so if you're working with anything higher than a 4x4 closure, lace closure, okay, that's what we're dealing with. That's why you're seeing that parting, because lace parting is in the wig. You want to split it, you want to part it down 4 ways vertically. Then plait that off to the side so that way it don't get in the way of you layering each section. That's all I was doing throughout the rest of the week. And yeah, y'all probably missed me yesterday, but that's all right though. I ain't forgot about y'all hygiene, about my hygiene homies. So a vlog is up. I took y'all in the store. If y'all want to, y'all can check that video out after after tonight's live stream. It's okay. It's okay. Is it Arturo Flores? This video will be here. It'll be here for you to run it back for out. Of course, after your homework is done, baby. Okay, and then you can probably eat dinner and watch it back. But you want a section in 4 sections. This is perfect for anything. This is perfect for any closure that is higher than, larger than a traditional 4x4. Hopefully, I'm in the frame enough. Okay, there we go. About to say. Okay, so once you have your section here, this is one of 4 sections. Now, I'm going to show you how this looks before we get to cutting layers and before I teach you how to cut layers in the lace closure, because this is a little different. As you can see, whatever your tracks are or whatever your attachment method are, the attachment method here is crochet hair. We just went through that. It should lay flush. I wish I could zoom into this thing. It should lay flush. That white marker, whatever, that's eyeliner pencil from us mapping it out. That can easily use a little bit of conditioner, a little water, and a toothbrush you don't care about that you're not putting in your mouth to get rid of it off the cap. That's all. Okay. Okay. All right. So we're going off of, this is important, why you layer every other section and to do the closure last. Because now, and I explained that in the other video. Now, hold on. Copyright talked to me. It was like, got to mute for a moment. Hold on. Just give me a few moments. Bear with me. I want you to watch me cut this first section, and then maybe then everything will maybe then all the noise are quiet off. Okay, I ain't trying to get no copyright claim or nothing. Okay, just watch me do the first section, and I will do my best to walk you through the second section as to what I'm doing. Okay, okay. So, as promised, because I'm all about keeping my promises over here best I can. Now, I'm going to explain to you what I just done before I begin blending the closure hair with the rest of the hair we already tackled from the other night. So, we're using it, for those that were here the other night, this is used as our measuring point of our shoulder. I know this. Okay, might be out there. Okay, that's fine. The rule is if the hair is anything down your back, um, you want to start face framing your first few layers in the front and stop about here. You cut underneath just where your shoulder starts. So that's different for everyone. Everyone has either broader, higher, or lower shoulders. You see what I'm saying? Okay. As you go to the back of the wig, the longer the hair gets, the lower you should be cutting the layers, because you shouldn't still be cutting up here and you at the back of the wig, because that gonna make it look crazy in the back. Okay. And so I went over that in great detail. So when we use this as our measuring point for the shoulder, drag it all the way down to about 4 inches. And that's about just underneath where your armpit stops. Then you cut just underneath that a diagonal angle. Make sure you're very heavy-handed. This is why I recommended shears. But you can do this with regular scissors. I ain't showed y'all how to do that. So with regular scissors, you got to cut with an even lighter hand, because those blades are not made for hair. But you can make it work. You know what I'm saying? Make it enough, or you can make it enough. In fact, that's how I learned how to cut layers in hair. Before I got to shears. Okay. So if you don't understand it, I'm gonna link that video to the end of this one, and I'm gonna put it in the community tab. I didn't automatically gave myself homework, which I do all the time. Welcome to the channel where we do that all the time. We do research and we give ourselves homework. Fun times. Okay, so now when it comes to blending that in, this is after you have combed out each section according to those rules, according to the length of the hair, cutting just underneath the shoulder for the first few pieces of hair in the front, and then as you go back towards the longer sections of the wig, you should be cutting lower, just underneath where your armpit stops, and then cutting diagonally with a very light hand. After you've done that, comb the hair out, because it's going to be some hair that's shedding. Then lay that hair down. We're going to need you to I just want you to see it. You're seeing this in real time. This is why I didn't look. It wouldn't be as fun if I did this before and come on camera. I'd like you to see this in real time. It's more satisfying. I want you to see it. Just comb it right into let that purple melt right up in there. And the camera ain't even doing this justice. I'm trying my best, but this is, I mean, seeing it in person is like, hi, what? Do you see how that's blending in? Flawless. You take your time and you practice and you sharpen your skills. I got God to thank for that. Now I want you to watch that again. Now I'm going to show you another section. We're done with our first section. The parting looks okay, but we haven't seen it all the way. And I'll show it to you, don't worry. All right, here's our second section here. All right, you're just parting it in 4 parts, just instead of, like a square like that. Because what we're doing is when we do it this way and we part vertically up and down, we are, after we're done layering that particular section, we're laying it over, blending it with the rest there. It's time to finalize things. You see what I'm saying? So this is what we're dealing with. It's a glueless wig, so it's a teeny tiny bit of lace. And I'll show you what to do, how to blend it. I'm trying to get the best angle that I can. Now with this, I might leave it a middle part. I do not know. But first we got to finish the layering before we can even think about if we're doing left, right, or middle part. Now right now that is not a concern until we get these layers together. I'm gonna show you what I just explained to you I was doing in the other video. Okay, I'm gonna have to hold this in my hand. This is a little different when you got all the other hair out, because you don't want to tangle it with the other sections of hair, because then you'll have a bird's nest. That's a running joke. A bird's nest. You don't want your wig that with a texture like this to look like a bird's nest. Okay. All right, so we're using the same rolls here. Yep, it's gonna work out. It's gonna initially look like a middle part, but we're gonna figure out which side, which way we want to part this thing. The camera ain't doing it justice, but I'm trying to. You see that little spot of purple here and there, here and there? Love it. That, in my personal opinion, is how you do color. Especially if you're a person that loves color, but you don't want it to look like you're doing too much, or maybe you got a workplace where it's just, I like color, but you're a person that loves color. There's a classy way to do Now you follow the guidelines. Okay. You ain't getting me in trouble. I'm telling you this because I love you. Okay. That's what wigs are good for. All right. So we're gonna take us a section. I like all that juicy purple. It's like juicy grape purple. It's so Josai. It's so Josai. I keep putting my comb away from me like, no, ma'am, this is where you need the comb the most. The lace closure is front and center. That's what you're gonna see when you put on the wig. That's what everybody else gonna see if you go out the door with it. Or you take pictures or whatever. Okay, about an inch of hair from you parting this initial section. And we're going to use this as our, let me tuck this around and get this out the way. Anytime you see that, I'm just getting it out the way. Okay. Oh, no bun. We cutting layers in a lace closure. I'm teaching how to do it. All right, so we stop here. Use this as our measuring point. I'm going to cut our first few layers. I'm going to cut just underneath it diagonally. And watch my hand. A light hand. If you're heavy-handed, you're going to want to practice working with a lighter hand. You don't want to practice on really good hair like this. I consider this to be a pretty high grade of synthetic hair. You don't want to practice on that. Go get you something that's a little rough that, you know, is from the hood. Okay? From the country, maybe. Yeah, get yourself some synthetic hair that's a bit of a rougher texture. Okay, you see that? That's diagonally cut. Let me put this to the side so you can see. Use my hand. Diagonally cut. That's how it should be falling. And then we can comb that. Okay. Even then, it's not perfect, but I'd rather you cut lower than what you expect than higher. Because higher, you have to add more hair to correct it. But if you cut the layers too low in there, you could go back up, work your way up gradually, cutting layers, cutting diagonally with a light hand. You could fix that. Better to cut too little than to cut too much. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so this is our second section from this. We're going to use this as our measuring point. Bam. Boom. Okay. I'm not cutting the length of the hair. See, I'm teaching you how to do this to preserve the length of the hair. You want to keep the length. So this is how you have to do it. Let's take practice. If you notice, I'm going in maybe twice, being that this is the closure. This is really where you're going to have the face framing layers. Then we're going to comb it through. You're supposed to do this with each and every section so you can just catch that shedded hair. We're going to run that through one more time. And I'm just going lower each time. Trial and error. I don't edit stuff like this out because you need to see it, because you might make these same mistakes and you might run into it and wonder, well, what in the world do I do to fix it?